I'm Paul Levinson, and welcome to Light On, Light Through, episode 203, my review of Invasion 1.4 on Apple TV+. Before I get to my review, let me mention that I have one more congratulations on my 200th episode of Light On, Light Through, so listen for that at the end of this review of Invasion. Let me begin that review by saying it was a good fourth episode of Invasion on Apple Plus TV. There were no breakthrough events, but lots of solid developments in 3 of the 4 areas of Earth under attack. My favorite was in the New York area, and not because I live here. We already knew that Luke, Anisha and Ahmed's boy, has some special connection to the invaders. We saw last week that he hears sounds and doesn't get nosebleeds when everyone else does after the invaders arrive on our planet. In episode 1.4, he wanders off in a forest in upstate New York and winds up in what seems to be a friendly couple's home in the woods. Now, there's got to be some connection between Luke, the friendly couple that welcomed him and later his family, and those nefarious invaders. Meanwhile, on the other side of the Atlantic, those British school kids in that Lord of the Flies scenario also had a good narrative in episode 1.4. We knew that Casper would get the better of the bully. That was no surprise, but it was fun to see him climb up those rocks and inspire those other kids to do the same. If one of the themes of this series are a few kids having some special connection to the invaders, well, the kid in England who had that would be Casper, though we've no direct evidence of that as yet. But his noticing that the debris that made the bus go off the cliff had the same Tokyo on it, that is, the letters spelling out Tokyo. And we know where that came from. That was from the shuttle that was destroyed. Well, that can't be a coincidence. And the same for Casper's drawings of beings from outer space. Meanwhile, over in Tokyo, we don't see any progress in learning about the invaders, but Misuki going to see the father of the lover she lost in space is a promising development. The father is an engineer who used to work for the Japanese Space Agency, and he'll no doubt play a role in helping them figure out what's happening on our planet. Afghanistan had no connection in episode 1.4 to the invaders, no connection that I could see, other than Travante seeing the destruction caused by their attack, but that's okay. We can't expect every sector to be firing on all cylinders in every episode. I'm looking forward to more connections among the 4 places on Earth that are the loci of this story. And I'm looking forward to seeing the next episode of Invasion and reporting back here to you next week.
The Light on Light Through podcast.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that little review of Invasion 1.4. As I mentioned at the beginning of this episode of Light On, Light Through, I've received one more congratulations on my 200th episode of this podcast. So, here without further ado is this congratulations.
If only I could travel back through time.
Hello, Paul Levinson. You caught me being President Bill Clinton. Your bonus number 42. And on behalf of a grateful nation, Hillary, Chelsea, and myself, we would like to congratulate you for all the work you do in the fields of music and science fiction. And at this time, my friend and your music collaborator has a message for you. Hi, Paul. This is Don Frankel. It has always been a thrill playing piano, organ, and accordion on your albums, Twice Upon a Rhyme and Welcome Up, and re-recording 3 of your songs, Looking for Sunsets, Today is Just Like You, and Merry Goes Round, under the band name Sundial Symphony with my music collaborator, Robbie Rist. By the way, I've also played that same red accordion on several television commercials, TV shows, and movies, and you can see me in the accordion on them. Congrats, Paul. More to come, and continue to let your freak flag fly. This is President Bill Clinton and Donnie Frankel, out.
Well, that was some congratulations. That's Don Frankel, and he does play Bill Clinton in all kinds of parts. I've seen him on television doing that role. And he also, of course, plays accordion. And as he mentioned, he's been playing accordion on my record since Twice Upon a Rhyme in the early 1970s, that album. My most recent album, Welcome Up, Songs of Space and Time. And you may have heard that accordion playing right before, quote, Bill Clinton, unquote, began congratulating me. That accordion part comes from If I Traveled to the Past. If you'd like to hear that whole song, there'll be a link to it on the show notes of this episode. You can listen to it on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, all of those places. So, thank you again, Don. I used to call him Donnie back in the Twice Upon a Rhyme days. Always great to hear you, and great to hear your accordion as well. And I'll be back here soon with another review, likely the next episode. That would be 1.8 of Foundation, also on Apple TV. And then after that, a review of Invasion. Again, all kinds of good things coming up on television in these next 2 months, including the return of Dexter. You'll hear my review of that in the next week or 2 for sure. In the meantime, stay safe, stay well, and enjoy.
Athens, 2042 AD. She ripped the paper in half, then ripped the halves, then ripped what was left again into bits and pieces of history that could have been. Sierra Waters had read once that, years ago, it was thought that men made love for the thrill, while women made love for the sense of connection it gave them.
Curled Up with a Good Book says, Sierra Waters is sexy as hell. You can find out more about The Plot to Save Socrates by Paul Levinson at theplottosavesocrates.com.
Paul Levinson spilt code about an ancient biotech war raging on in secret for centuries.